The silver glow of the lighthouse seemed to pulse in their chests as much as it did in the beacon above. The chamber had quieted, but Jack felt the hum beneath the glass floor like a heartbeat in his bones. He rubbed his arms. I think I'm vibrating on a molecular level. Can someone confirm I'm still human? Mara gave him a look that was simultaneously amused and exasperated. You're human, but fragile, Jack groaned. Fragile? Fragile is being a teacup. I am a slightly cracked teacup rolling through a magical death trap. Big difference. Promethei's gaze was fixed on the fragment and the crystalline key. The lighthouse has allowed us passage, but its purpose is not finished. It has shown us visions of ourselves, our fears, our histories, and even the echoes of entire civilizations. Its judgment is never idle. Jack tilted his head. Yeah, I got the judgment memo. It basically called me a panicking idiot in so many words. Mara's lips twitched. Perhaps. But it also measured your ingenuity, your courage under duress. That is why you are still standing. Jack raised an eyebrow. I'm flattered, I think. Promethei ignored the banter. Their eyes traced the glowing runes spiraling across the chamber floor. Every step we took on the bridge of light, every pulse of the beacon, was a reflection of our intent. The lighthouse does not simply allow passage. It responds to truth, to our unity, our focus, our ability to act without hesitation. Jack scratched the back of his head. So basically, it's like a magical polygraph combined with an energy barometer? Fantastic. I always wanted to be tested by a giant glowing light bulb. Mara's voice was quieter now, reverent. It is more than that. The lighthouse preserves knowledge and measures worthiness. It shows what we carry in our hearts and minds, and what we are willing to protect or sacrifice. Promethei lifted the fragment and the key, holding them close. Silver energy rippled between them, the light illuminating the chamber with an almost tangible warmth. The beacon has accepted us, but the hunter has seen this resonance. He will not wait long before moving again. He knows where we are, and he will act swiftly. Jack groaned. Of course he does. Why would he not? Mara studied the stairs descending into the unknown, her eyes thoughtful. The first gate is beyond this place. What we have learned here, the lessons, the trials, are a guide. But the path ahead is uncharted and dangerous. The hunter is only the first obstacle, Jack muttered. Great. So the next leg of our journey is basically run through magical death zones while being stalked by a shadowy chain guy. Promethei's expression was unreadable. It will not be easy, but we are stronger than when we arrived. The lighthouse has given us clarity, insight, and the tools we need. That is why it allowed us passage. Jack slumped against the railing, staring at the glowing staircase. Clarity, insight, and impending doom. Got it. Love it. Mara stepped closer, resting a hand on his shoulder. Strength is not the absence of fear. It is the courage to act despite it. That is what the lighthouse has measured. Promethei nodded. Together, we carry this light forward, its blessing, and its warning. The first gate awaits. We must leave before the hunter decides to strike again. Jack grinned shakily. Terrific. I'm so ready for this. Mostly ready-ish. The trio gathered the fragment and the key, securing them safely. The silver light of the lighthouse stretched outward like a river, guiding their first steps toward the descending staircase. Each step echoed in the chamber, a reminder of the trials they had passed and the dangers still to come. Mara's voice was calm but firm. We have been tested. We have succeeded. But do not forget, knowledge is never safe, and power is never without cost. The lighthouse is a beacon, yes, but also a sentinel. Its watch is eternal. Jack sighed dramatically. Eternal sentinels, chain-wielding psychos, glowing keys. Yep, I'm feeling the adventure. Totally my thing. Promethei's gaze returned to the descending spiral. The journey to the first gate will define the next stage of our path. The lighthouse has granted us passage. Now, we must prove ourselves in the wider world. They began their descent, shadows stretching behind them in the silver light. The lighthouse without a shore faded above them, still glowing, still watching, as if recording every heartbeat, every step, and every choice. and somewhere beyond the cliffs, in the darkness, the hunter waited, silent, patient, watching, planning. The first gate was ahead, and with it, trials that none of them could yet imagine. The spiral staircase ended abruptly on a cliffside platform suspended above an endless void. Moonlight glinted off jagged silver rocks that jutted from the ground like frozen teeth. Golden leaves drifted lazily through the air, twisting in spirals even though there was no wind. The lighthouse behind them gleamed softly, a sentinel of silver light, its beacon pulsing gently, as if watching them take the first steps beyond its protection. Jack squinted at the strange terrain. So no ocean, no water, just cliff, abyss, and leaves. Perfect. Just what I needed. Mara stepped forward, cane tapping carefully on the uneven ground. The lighthouse warned us. The path is not straightforward. The first gate lies somewhere beyond these cliffs, but the land itself tests those who traverse it. Promethei's eyes swept the horizon. The cliffs shift subtly. The terrain is alive not in a literal sense, but it reacts to presence and intent. One misstep, and the way forward may vanish, or worse, redirect you into danger. Jack rubbed his temples. Great. So it's a magical GPS that hates us. Got it. They began moving cautiously. At first, the path seemed stable, a narrow ridge of silver rock, but soon, cracks appeared beneath their feet, fissures that glowed faintly with blue light. The golden leaves began to swirl faster, clustering into dense whirlwinds that threatened to obscure vision. Step carefully, Promethei warned. The cliffs test balance and perception. They seek to separate the unworthy from the path. Jack muttered under his breath. Unworthy. That's me. Definitely me. Mara raised her cane, tapping the air. Focus on the path. Fear will make the terrain betray you. Jack nodded, trying to steady his breath, and inched forward. Each step sent subtle tremors through the ground, making the fissures pulse like veins. The wind or whatever current moved the leaves carried faint whispers, almost human in tone. Jack jumped. What was that? Promethei frowned. Not sound. Memory. The cliffs echo thoughts, fears, intentions. Be mindful of what you carry in your mind. Jack groaned. Great. So my brain is now a hazard. Just perfect. As they advanced, they encountered the first true obstacle. A bridge of silver light spanning a yawning chasm. It was narrow, shifting, and impossible to cross by fear. Below, shadows writhed, black forms moving like liquid in the abyss. The hunter's presence could almost be felt, a dark pulse beneath the cliff floor. Mara stepped forward, cane glowing. Faintly, the bridge reacts to intent. Do not hesitate, do not doubt. 1 foot at a time, in unison, Promethei led the way, holding the fragment and the key aloft. A soft silver glow radiated, stabilizing the bridge slightly. The path opens for those who act with purpose. Trust in each other. Jack swallowed, stepping carefully. Trust in. Okay, got it. Hope it doesn't collapse under me. Literally or metaphorically. Mara gave a quiet smile. Metaphors rarely kill, Jack. Physics, however. Halfway across, the air shimmered. Faint chains flickered in the shadows, and a voice slithered across the abyss. You think the lighthouse can shield you forever? Jack froze. Yep, that's definitely him. Promethei's grip on the fragment tightened. The hunter is near. He tests patience as much as skill. Do not falter. The chains appeared briefly, writhing in the void beneath the bridge, then vanished. The path ahead shimmered uncertainly, as if the chasm itself was alive. The golden leaves swirled around them in tight spirals, almost forming shapes. Faces twisted in silent screams, then dissolving before their eyes. Jack whispered, I hate this place. Mara's voice was calm, measured. Hate does not help. Focus. Every step, deliberate. Every thought, clear. Promethei's gaze swept the horizon. The first gate is near, though unseen. The path will test mind, body, and spirit. Only by remaining united and resolute can we survive what is to come. Jack muttered under his breath. Survive. Sure, no problem. Easy peasy. Mostly, the trio pressed onward, the cliffs alive with whispers, shifting fissures and flickering shadows. The lighthouse behind them glowed steadily, a silent guardian, but its protection ended at the edge of the cliff. Beyond lay uncertainty, danger, and the first gate and the hunter, patient, waiting, planning. Jack looked over the edge of the bridge. So, any chance of a snack before we die? Mara sighed. Focus, Jack. Promethei smiled faintly. We move forward. The trial is not over until we step through the gate, and we will face it together. The wind swirled, the leaves danced, and the cliff seemed to shift as if alive. The first gate awaited, hidden in the horizon's mists. A place where the next trial and the hunter would challenge them in ways no lighthouse could illuminate. The cliff stretched endlessly, silver rock twisting and folding in impossible angles. Every step felt precarious. The fissures beneath their feet glowed faintly, reacting to hesitation. Golden leaves spun in tight spirals, creating illusions of staircases that disappeared when approached. Jack squinted ahead. Okay, so, let me get this straight. No maps, no trail markers, the cliffs move, the leaves are magic, and there's a guy out there with chains. Did I miss anything? Mara's gaze was steady. That is the terrain. The hunter is not visible, but he is present. His influence warps reality subtly, even at a distance. The cliffs themselves may shift if he perceives weakness. Jack groaned. Lovely. So basically, we're walking a magic tightrope while someone tries to psych us out. Fantastic. Promethei moved deliberately, holding the fragment and the crystalline key aloft. Silver light flowed from the objects, stabilizing the path. The cliffs respond to intent. Hesitation is dangerous. The first gate lies beyond the mists. We must move with clarity and unity. They approached a narrow ridge suspended over an abyss so deep that the bottom was lost in swirling fog. The golden leaves formed dense spirals, temporarily blocking their view. The air shimmered, and Jack's stomach tightened up. Guys, that fog looks wrong. Promethei's voice was calm but firm. Do not fear what you cannot see. The cliffs are illusions as much as they are solid. Trust the light, trust each other. Mara stepped ahead, cane tapping in rhythm. Keep your focus. The path is not just physical, it is mental, emotional. Every thought is mirrored in the terrain. As they advanced, the fog seemed to pulse, forming shapes, shadowy silhouettes of towers, cities, and figures from the visions they had seen in the lighthouse. Jack stumbled. Okay, that's creepy. I officially hate this part. Promethei's gaze remained steady. They are echoes, warnings, reminders of the worlds we carry in memory. Step carefully. Each step forward is a choice. Jack swallowed. A choice between what? Certain death and slightly less certain death? Mara tapped his shoulder. Between fear controlling you or courage guiding you. Decide wisely. Halfway along the ridge, a sudden gust lifted the golden leaves into a cyclone. The wind carried whispers, fragmented voices from past civilizations, warning, pleading, laughing, crying. The ridge tilted subtly beneath them, forcing them to grip the jagged rocks to maintain balance. Jack shouted over the roar. Oh, come on. Seriously? Leaves? Voices? Gravity now? Can't we have one normal thing? Promethei's hand pressed the fragment forward, emitting a pulse of silver light that cut through the fog and stabilized the ridge. We are almost there. The first gate is near. The trials are not yet over, but the path grows clearer. Mara's eyes scanned the horizon. Do you feel it? She asked softly. Jack blinked. Feel what? The hunter, Promethei said. He is close. Not here yet, but the shadows he casts move with the wind. He waits for hesitation, for fear. Jack swallowed hard. Of course, he does. Isn't he always? Suddenly, a shadow flickered across the ridge, too fast for the eye to track. The golden leaves scattered violently. Jack stumbled and fell to one knee. Promethei's voice rang out, sharp and commanding. Stand. Now. Do not falter. Jack scrambled to his feet, heart pounding. Easier said than done when giant shadows are trying to kill you. Mara raised her cane, releasing a pulse of energy that sent the shadows recoiling temporarily. He tests patience as much as strength. Do not Give him the satisfaction of fear. As the ridge began to widen, the fog thinned, revealing a faint shimmering arch in the distance, the first gate. Its outline was indistinct, like water seen through heat waves. Golden light radiated from its surface, mixed with deep violet shadows. Promethei's eyes softened. There, they said quietly. The first gate. Our destination. Jack squinted. Yeah, that thing looks fun. Totally inviting. Mara's voice was calm but measured. Even so, the path is not safe until we reach it. The hunter's presence grows stronger. Do not let your guard down. Promethei held the fragment aloft, its silver light glowing brighter, resonating with the faint hum of the first gate. We have passed the lighthouse. We have navigated illusions, hazards, and fear. Now comes the final approach. Step together, step with purpose. Jack muttered under his breath, step together, and hope nothing eats us. Got it. As they advanced, the shadows at the edge of the cliffs flickered again. The faint silhouette of the hunter appeared, watching silently from afar. Chains coiled in his hands, a whisper of smoke trailing from his cloak. Promethei's voice was calm, resolute. He waits, but he does not dictate our path. The first gate is ahead, and our journey continues. The lighthouse has guided us here. Now, we must prove ourselves once more. The golden leaves swirled around them one final time as they reached the base of the shimmering arch. The light from the first gate bathed their faces in silver and violet. Jack exhaled sharply. Okay, I officially hate how beautiful this is, but I guess we're here. Mara's hand rested on the fragment briefly, then back on her cane. Here, yes, but not safe. The gate is a trial in itself. Promethei's eyes narrowed, gazing at the glowing arch. We step forward together. Whatever awaits beyond, we face it united. The hunter may follow, but we will not falter. Jack muttered, united. Got it. I'll try not to panic too much. The trio exchanged a final glance, then stepped toward the shimmering threshold of the first gate. Behind them, the lighthouse without a shore faded from sight, its silver beacon watching silently as the next chapter of their journey unfolded. And, somewhere in the shifting shadows beyond the cliffs, the hunter waited, patient, plodding, and hungry for the moment to strike. The shimmering arch of the first gate loomed before them, its surface alive with shifting silver and violet light. The golden leaves around the cliffs swirled violently, forming chaotic eddies that reflected the gate's strange energy. Even at a distance, Jack could feel the hum of power vibrating through the air. Okay, he muttered, rubbing his neck. That thing looks like it wants to eat our brains. Or maybe our souls. Or both. Mara's eyes were steady. The gate is not malevolent, but it tests the intent and worth of those who approach. Every choice we make, every thought, every hesitation, it will know. Promethei held the fragment and the crystalline key tightly. The lighthouse brought us here. Its blessing allows passage, but only if we act with clarity, focus, courage, unity. Jack groaned. Unity, courage, focus. So basically all the things I'm worst at. Perfect. The moment they stepped onto the threshold, the air thickened. The golden leaves froze in midair, hovering like silent watchers. The ground beneath them rippled slightly, responding to their weight and presence. The first gate pulsed, and suddenly, 3 ghostly figures appeared before them. They were translucent, shimmering with silver and violet light, and each radiated a distinct aura. Promethei whispered, guardians. The gate tests the heart as much as the mind. Approach with honesty, or it will not open. Jack squinted. Great. Spectral bouncers. Love this. Totally reassuring. The central figure spoke without moving its lips. Its voice was in their minds, calm, resonant, and layered with echoes. Seekers of the fragment, your path has been observed. Intent must be proven. Will you step forward together, without deceit or fear? Mara lifted her head. We step as one. Jack swallowed. Together. Sure, I can do together. Probably. Promethei's voice was firm. No hesitation. Step forward with purpose. As they moved, the gate shimmered violently, and the ground beneath them rippled like liquid metal. Visions of past failures, fears, and regrets swirled around them, threatening to unbalance their focus. Jack stumbled as a shadow flickered at the corner of his vision. Did anyone else see that? Mara's eyes narrowed. Focus. Illusions are meant to distract. The gate reacts to doubt. Promethei pressed the fragment forward, and a wave of silver light radiated outward, stabilizing the threshold. Fear has no power if met with truth. Hold the light, and hold each other. Jack took a deep breath. Okay, I'm holding. Mostly. Don't make me scream, please. The gate pulsed again, and suddenly the hunter's shadow appeared within the swirling light. His chains writhed like serpents, black and smoking. He did not step forward, but his presence sent a shiver through the cliffside. You think the lighthouse can protect you forever? His voice was a whisper and a growl all at once. Promethei's hand tightened on the fragment. He waits, but he does not dictate our passage. Step forward. Mara extended her cane, releasing a steady pulse of energy that countered the shadows creeping toward them. We are ready, Jack gulped. Ready-ish. Hopefully-ish. Definitely alive-ish. Together, the three stepped forward. The gate reacted instantly. Silver and violet currents wrapped around them, probing their minds, testing intent, demanding truth. Memories from the lighthouse, their journey through the cliffs, fears of failure, and even Jack's panic flashed before them. Jack gritted his teeth. No, focus. We are not dying yet. Unity, courage, blah blah blah. The currents pushed against them, but the light from the fragment and the crystalline key flared in response, forming a protective cocoon. The three held steady. The currents subsided, the swirling fog cleared, and the gate shimmered one final time. The golden leaves stilled, forming a perfect arch around them. The cliff stretched endlessly into the horizon, silver jagged rocks forming impossible angles. Beneath their feet, the ground pulsed faintly, glowing where fissures ran through the stone. The golden leaves spiraled violently in the air, forming arcs and eddies that seemed almost alive. Each step felt precarious, as if the land itself could shift under a moment of doubt. Jack squinted at the horizon. Okay, let me get this straight. No map, no trail markers, cliffs that move, magical leaves that want to hit my face, and a shadow guy with chains. Did I miss anything? Mara's eyes were steady. You missed the whispers, the illusions, and the gate testing your intent. But yes, otherwise correct. The hunter's presence can be felt. He warps reality subtly even from afar. The cliffs react to weakness, hesitation, and fear. Jack groaned. Lovely. So, basically, walk the tightrope of doom while someone psychs us out. Fantastic. Promethei led the way, holding the fragment and the crystalline key aloft. Silver light flowed from them, stabilizing the path slightly. The cliffs respond to intent. Fear is a hazard. The first gate lies ahead. Step with unity and clarity. A sudden gust of wind lifted the golden leaves into a cyclone. The ridge beneath them twisted and tilted, forcing them to cling to jagged rocks. Faint voices whispered through the fog, echoes of lost civilizations, pleading, warning, and laughing in turns. Jack shouted, "Oh, come on. Seriously? Leaves? Voices? Fog? Can't we have one normal thing?" Promethei pressed the fragment forward. A pulse of silver light radiated outward, stabilizing the ridge. Focus. The first gate is near. Illusions are not reality. Only intent matters. Mara's cane glowed faintly. The gate tests the heart and mind, not just the body. Concentrate, or the path will disappear. Jack muttered. Concentrate. Right. Totally easy. As they advanced, a shadow flickered across the ridge, black and serpentine. Jack stumbled. Did anyone else see that? The hunter, Promethei said calmly. He observes from the edges. Do not falter. His presence tests patience, as much as courage. Mara released a pulse of energy, forcing the shadow to recede temporarily. We move forward, together. Hold the light and hold each other. They reached a narrow bridge of silver light spanning a yawning chasm. Below, shadows writhed in the abyss, reacting to their steps. The golden leaves formed dense spirals, creating ghostly figures that flickered and dissolved. Jack gulped. I officially hate how alive this place is. Promethei stepped forward, fragment and key glowing. Stepped deliberately. One misstep, one faltering thought, and the path may vanish. Trust the light. Trust each other. Halfway across, the first gate shimmered in the distance, its silver and violet surface alive with currents of power. Golden light radiated from it, yet shadows danced across the arch. Promethei's voice softened. There, the first gate. Our destination. Jack squinted. Yep, looks friendly. Totally inviting. Mara's eyes narrowed. The path is not safe until we pass through. The hunter's presence grows stronger. We must remain vigilant. Promethei held the fragment aloft, the silver glow resonating with the gate's hum. We have passed the lighthouse, navigated illusions, and survived the cliffs. Now comes the final approach. Step together. Step with purpose, Jack muttered. Step together, and maybe try not to die horribly. Suddenly, the hunter's shadow appeared within the swirls of leaves and fog, chains coiling in his hands, smoke trailing his cloak. His eyes, barely visible, glimmered like molten coal. You think the lighthouse can shield you forever? He hissed, his voice both whisper and growl. Promethei's grip tightened on the fragment. He waits, but he does not control us. Step forward. Mara's pulse of energy pushed the shadow back slightly. We are ready. Together. Jack exhaled, trembling slightly. Ready-ish. Definitely alive-ish. The trio stepped onto the shimmering threshold of the first gate. Silver and violet currents wrapped around them, probing minds, testing intent, demanding truth. Memories of fear, hesitation, and failure swirled around them, threatening to unbalance their focus. Jack gritted his teeth. No, focus. We are not dying yet. Unity, courage, blah blah blah. The light from the fragment and key flared, forming a protective cocoon. The current subsided, and the gate shimmered, finally recognizing their intent. The central spectral guardian's voice echoed in their minds. You have proven unity, courage, and clarity. Passage is granted, but beware the hunter watches, and shadows follow the light. Promethei exhaled. The first gate opens, but this is only the beginning. Beyond lies trials far greater than the lighthouse or cliffs. Jack wiped his brow. I have never been more ready to complain about my life. Mara's lips curved faintly. We face it together. The gate rippled, forming a portal wide enough for all three. Jack hesitated. Well, here goes everything. Promethei led, fragment aloft. Together, Mara followed closely. Step with purpose. Jack exhaled sharply. Step with purpose. And maybe try not to get eaten. Together, they crossed the threshold. Behind them, the cliff stretched in moonlit shadows. Far beyond, the hunter lingered, patient, plotting, and waiting for the moment to strike again. The first gate swallowed them in silver and violet light. Jack muttered. So, no map, cliffs that shift, leaves that want to hit me, and a shadow guy with chains. Yep, a perfect Tuesday. Mara's gaze swept the horizon. The cliffs are alive with intent. The hunter's influence can be felt even when he is not visible. Every step, every thought, may alter the path. Promethei raised the fragment and crystalline key, silver light stabilizing the uneven ground. Step carefully. Hesitation is a hazard. The first gate is near. Step with clarity, courage, and unity. A sudden gust lifted the golden leaves into a tornado. Shadows flickered in the fog, whispering voices of long-lost civilizations. Laughing, crying, warning, pleading. Jack stumbled. Seriously? Voices? Fog? Leaves? Can't we have one thing that isn't trying to kill me mentally? Promethei's calm voice cut through the chaos. Ignore them. Illusions are tests. The gate measures intent, courage, and truth. Do not falter. Mara tapped her cane, releasing a pulse of energy that dispersed some of the leaves. Fear feeds the cliffs. Focus is your shield. Jack muttered under his breath. Focus? Easier said than done when the world is actively trying to eat me. Halfway along the ridge, a bridge of silver light appeared over a yawning chasm. Below, shadows writhed like serpents. The golden leaves twisted, forming fleeting, screaming faces that dissolved when approached. Jack gulped. "Oh, I officially hate this place." Promethei held the fragment higher. "Step deliberately. Trust the light. Trust each other." Mara's cane glowed steadily. "The gate tests mind and heart, not just body. Your thoughts are mirrored here. Concentrate." At the edge of the bridge, the first gate shimmered. Silver and violet currents danced across its surface, alive with raw power. The air vibrated with the hum of ancient magic. "There," Promethei said softly. "The first gate. Our destination." Jack squinted. "Looks friendly, totally inviting, not terrifying at all." Mara's eyes narrowed. "Do not be fooled. The path is unsafe until we pass through. The hunter is near, his shadow stretching even here." Promethei's voice was calm but firm. "The lighthouse brought us here. Its blessing allows passage, but only if we act with intent and clarity. Step together." Jack muttered. "Step together. Survive. Don't die horribly." "Got it." A ripple of darkness appeared in the corner of their vision. The hunter, chains coiled like living serpents, smoke trailing from his cloak. His presence made the cliffs shiver, as though the world itself recognized him. "You think the lighthouse protects you forever?" His hissed voice echoed across the wind. Promethei's hand tightened on the fragment. "He waits, but he does not dictate our path. Step forward." Mara released a pulse of energy. "We are ready." Together, Jack exhaled shakily. "Ready-ish. Alive-ish. Let's do this." They stepped onto the shimmering threshold. Silver and violet currents swirled around them, probing minds, testing intent, and revealing fears. Memories of hesitation, doubt, and failure flashed before them. Cliffs collapsing, chains striking, moments when fear had ruled. Jack gritted his teeth. "No, focus. We are not dying yet. Unity, courage, blah blah blah." The fragment flared, the crystalline key resonating, forming a protective cocoon. The currents receded. The gate shimmered, finally recognizing their intent. The spectral guardian's voice resonated in their minds. "You have proven unity, courage, and clarity. Passage is granted. Beware the hunter watches, and shadows follow the light." Promethei exhaled. The first gate opens. Beyond lies trials far greater than the lighthouse or cliffs. We must be ready. Jack wiped sweat from his brow. "I have never been more ready to complain about my life." Mara's lips curved faintly. "We face it together." The gate rippled, forming a portal wide enough for all three. Jack hesitated. "Well, here goes everything." Promethei led, fragment aloft. Together Mara followed. "Step with purpose." Jack exhaled sharply. "Step with purpose. And maybe try not to get eaten." They crossed the threshold. Silver and violet light enveloped them. Behind, the cliff stretched into moonlit shadows. Far beyond, the hunter lingered, patient, plotting, waiting for his next strike. The first gate swallowed them completely, carrying them into the next stage of their journey, a realm of trials, mysteries, and dangers no lighthouse could predict.